Welcome to round 5 match of GP Caracas. This time we have ALittleBlank versus Wizzerinus. Wizzerinus is running 4-color Barx. That's a deck that uses 1-mana ETB artifacts, such as Terraformer's Globe, which draws a card on ETB, along with Barx, which lets you basically champion an artifact when you cast it. And meanwhile, we have ALittleBlank with black-green Deathtouchers, using Contagious Death Spore and the Shadow Staff to slap a bunch of blight tokens onto the opponent. So ALittleBlank starts with turn 1 Conspiracy of Ravens, looking to take something from Wizzerinus' hand on turn 2, and Wizzerinus is going to play Terraformer's Globe on turn 1. So yeah, quite a good turn 1 play for them because draws them a card, gets them an artifact in play, and also fixes their mana. ALittleBlank, Conspiracy of Ravens goes off, and they might just take Downhill Forgemaster here because Wizzerinus has 2 Dawsons anyway, and taking Downhill kind of puts Wizzerinus off the curve, and they're going to take the Forgemaster. And ALittleBlank also has Canopy Dancer in hand. The Canopy Dancer plus the Shadow Staff is infinite combo, because Shadow Staff lets your creatures tap to deal damage, and Canopy Dancer untap whenever it deals damage. So if Wizzerinus has no way to disrupt ALittleBlank can just go, or if ALittleBlank draws another land this turn, or next turn, they can go turn 3 Canopy Dancer, turn 4 Shadow Staff, win. But Wizzerinus draws Valdez, and I'm pretty sure they're using it this turn to see what's in ALittleBlank's hand. And then question becomes, do they name high or low? Naming high will hit the combo pieces, as well as Eldraine's Masterpiece, which is a good value card for ALittleBlank. Unfortunately for Wizzerinus, ALittleBlank's entire hand is 3-drops, so, or except for Contagious Death Spore, but yeah, basically they have a bunch of 3-drops so they can just protect the combo pieces. They're going to ditch Eldraine's Masterpiece. So they're kind of hoping that they're going to draw a land next turn. And they don't draw a land, so that's unfortunate. All they can do is run out Contagious Death Spore. And now Wizzerinus probably breathes a huge sigh of relief that they don't have to deal with possibly getting comboed out. Because Lord Rickard Dawson, second ability, lets you sack an artifact to deal 3 damage. A Canopy Dancer has 4 toughness, so it doesn't die to Dawson. So if ALittleBlank did draw a land there, then they could play down Canopy Dancer and Wizzerinus has no way to deal with it. Instead, Wizzerinus gets to play down Dawson before ALittleBlank drops their Canopy Dancer. Using the Terraformer's Globe to mana fix, you're going to +1 to Dawson, and they're going to use the +1 to kill the Contagious Death Spore. Okay, yeah, that's probably a better idea. You're going to sack Terraformer's Globe. So this put them off their mana a bit, but they have Wayfarer Shrines and Nebula, so they can recover pretty easily from that. ALittleBlank finally draws their 3rd land. So are they just going to run out Canopy Dancer? Yeah, they are. And let's see if Wizzerinus draws a way to deal with it. That is a way to deal with it, because Downhill Forgemaster can fetch Deadly Harpoon. Yeah. So they're going to adventure Downhill Forgemaster and grab Deadly Harpoon and kill the Canopy Dancer. It seems like ALittleBlank's getting the short end of the stick this game, because Wizzerinus just gets everything that they need in order for ALittleBlank to not combo out. ALittleBlank missing the land drop on turn 3, and then Wizzerinus top decking Downhill Forgemaster to grab Deadly Harpoon this turn. And now that sets ALittleBlank back. Well, it doesn't set them back too much, but it means that they won't be able to win next turn. Wizzerinus, did they forget to plus Dawson this turn? It seems like it. They were so excited to not die to the infinite combo this turn that they forgot to activate Dawson. ALittleBlank, they can actually, yeah, they can beckon the damned back, Canopy Dancer, and then also get Conspiracy of Ravens down. Now Wizzerinus is pressures on Wizzerinus to find another answer to the infinite combo. So let's see what Wizzerinus manages to top deck this time. Pay up, and yeah, that is an answer to the combo now, because Wizzerinus can +1 Dawson, make the opponent discard, and then pay up to discard the other card, so then that empties ALittleBlank's hand and they won't have the combo anymore. Somehow, this entire game is just ALittleBlank threatening to go infinite next turn, and Wizzerinus always top decking a way to stop the combo. Is ALittleBlank going to realize that Dawson's going to make them discard their entire hand anyways? Yeah, they do. Okay, so they're not going to give Wizzerinus an extra treasure for no reason. And they're going to +1 Dawson and make ALittleBlank discard the last card in their hand. And they play Downhill Forge Master. Okay. This Conspiracy of Ravens goes off and hits second Dawson. ALittleBlank top decking a land. That's a bit unfortunate. Seems like this entire game has just been a big middle finger to ALittleBlank. So close to victory, but always getting stopped by with the top of Wizzerinus' deck. And Wizzerinus draws Inish 2. Yeah, they can play Inish 2 and it'll transform next turn. And then they can also equip Deadly Harpoon to Downhill Forge Master and start swinging in for a bunch. Now Valdez comes down as a 5-3 haster. And the game looks pretty bad for ALittleBlank. And yeah, they're equipping Deadly Harpoon onto a Downhill Forge Master. And swinging for 11. ALittleBlank draws another Canteen Dancer just to rub salt in the wound. The thing is, if ALittleBlank top decks the Shadow Staff there, or Beck in the Dam, they just won. So even though Wizzerinus looks really far ahead on board, all it takes is for ALittleBlank to top deck the other piece of their combo for them to just instantly win. No, but does Wizzerinus have lethal? Well, they can. Well, no, ALittleBlank's forced to double trump. No, they're just going to concede. Yeah. Now that both Happy Dancers are forced to trump, they can't top deck an instant win next turn. Also, Wizzerinus just has lethal, right? So look at sideboarding. Wizzerinus is probably looking to. Well, actually, honestly, I have no idea what they want to bring in. Probably Pith Bolts, and then Field Riftway. Harm's Way is actually a pretty interesting way to stop the infinite combo, but probably just better to use removal. And on the other side of the table, ALittleBlank I want to bring in Stolen Secrets and Mirrorgate, I guess. Actually, no, Stolen Secrets is bad because you really don't know what to name with it. Yeah, I'm not sure what they want to bring in either. It seems like Game 2 has started already, and Wizzerinus draws a hand with a ton of discard and a mana to cast it because they can go turn 1 Island, Terraformer's Globe, and then start dropping down discard spells. ALittleBlank gets a hand with 1 land, so they're not keeping. Instead, you get a pretty decent hand with removal and 3 drops, so probably bottoming one of the 3 drops. Maybe the Shadow Staff because they don't have the other piece of the combo yet. The Wizzerinus draws another Terraformer's Globe. Yeah, they can play on 2 Terraformer's Globes and then they'll be able to access double black in a turn to double discard. ALittleBlank's hand is probably getting absolutely torn apart next turn. So, like they actually, yeah, there is an argument to be made for Pith Bolting the Terraformer's Globe to put Wizzerinus off their mana. So actually, so if ALittleBlank Pith Bolted the Terraformer's Globe there, then Wizzerinus would be in trouble because they wouldn't have the right colors of mana for. Well, no, because they have another Terraformer's Globe. But yeah, now they get to play their first discard spell. Let's see what ALittleBlank's. Well, actually, no, they're just gonna discard Eldraine's Masterpiece and then beckon it back. But no, I guess they're afraid of the treasure. They don't want to give Wizzerinus the treasure here, and instead they're just going to be content with playing Eldraine's Masterpiece on its own. I guess you don't really need you don't really have a use for the extra land that you get from Beckon the Damned. You might as well just not give Wizzerinus the treasure. So ALittleBlank plays Eldraine's Masterpiece. Let's see what they hit. Yeah, they get Deadwood Terror, so not horrid, but not the best one they could have gotten. If they flip the Contagious Death Spore here, then that would be really good because it puts the pressure on Wizzerinus to one of the Blight tokens onto Wizzerinus. The Wizzerinus draws in their land, exactly what they need. With 2 Terraformer's Globe, their mana is basically perfect. Wizzerinus has more discard than ALittleBlank has cards in hand, so maybe that's. But all Wizzerinus discard comes attached to either creatures or equipment, so even if ALittleBlank runs out of cards, those cards are still really good. In fact, Valdez specifically wants your opponent to run out of cards. I think something interesting Wizzerinus can do is allow Marlborough to bounce something and then use the discard spell to get out of the hand. I think they're doing that right now. Yeah. Well, I mean, to be fair, ALittleBlank still has 2 creatures on board, and they top deck another Eldraine's Masterpiece. So yeah, really good top deck. Let's see what else they flip. If they flip Contagious Death Spore here, then they're in business because now Wizzerinus will get slapped with 2 Blight tokens. But they get Deadland Scavenger instead, which isn't the best card here because you don't get the card back. You only get the card back when it dies, so not when it gets bounced or anything. But still an alright hit. Wizzerinus draws Kaelin Whirlwind. That's a fantastic draw for them because now they can start bouncing a lot of Marble Road to keep just getting rid of ALittleBlank's board. Instead, Wizzerinus plays Death Pit Trophy and I guess holds up Pithwilt. Actually, how much damage does ALittleBlank have right now? 9 damage on the board currently. Pithwilt will get rid of 3 damage. So yeah, ALittleBlank's actually not... And Pithwilt hits Eldraine's Masterpiece as expected. So Wizzerinus gets knocked down to 5 life. Now Wizzerinus has to deal with... Okay, never mind. The top decking Dawson is really good there. Now they can start using Dawson's +1 to kill ALittleBlank's creatures and gain them life. But even if ALittleBlank starts top decking lands here, they don't actually mind top decking lands because that gets them closer to Deadwood Terror, or activating Deadwood Terror's ability from the graveyard. And ALittleBlank draws another Deadland Scavenger, so not a bad draw for them. They still don't really have a good way of killing Deadland Scavengers themselves, though. And Scavenger eats in their Scavenger, I guess. Is ALittleBlank going to attack Wizzerinus' face or attack the Dawson? They're going to attack Dawson, okay. I guess if they attack face, Dawson just +1s just with the second ability and gains 3 life back anyways, so better to just attack the Dawson. Wizzerinus draws their 4th land, so now they can slam Kaelin Whirlwind and start bouncing Rod of Marlborough, and I think that kind of locks the game up, probably. Wizzerinus is going to use Dawson's second ability to kill the Deadwood Terror again. And yeah, Wizzerinus playing down Kaelin Whirlwind, and probably now they can start bouncing Rod of Marlborough and bouncing out of ALittleBlank's creatures. Now that's hugely annoying for ALittleBlank because Deadland Scavenger gets you the card when it dies, not when it leaves the battlefield. And now I don't really see a way for ALittleBlank to get out of this because even if they do get the Canopy Dancer combo, Kaelin Whirlwind can just keep bouncing Canopy Dancer. Wizzerinus top decks Dawson again. Seems like Wizzerinus is just getting all of the good cards this matchup. ALittleBlank tries to put more stuff on board, but I don't think it's going to stand up to Wizzerinus' Kaelin plus Dawson. Well, at the very least, Kaelin can't really attack or block any of the Death Touchers. ALittleBlank gets to enjoy a pretty slow death here. So Rod hits the Deadland Scavenger. And Dawson's going to discard the Deadland Scavenger. Yeah, that's a pretty good combo here. You bounce the thing and then you discard the thing. And that will slowly whittle down ALittleBlank's creatures. And they draw land, so they should probably play the land because it's going to get discarded anyways. And they're 1 land away from getting back Deadlands, or Deadwood Terrors. And Deadwood Terror's ability is also a way to sacrifice Deadland Scavengers and finally get cards from them. And okay, Wizzerinus finally draws Barx. Barx probably not coming into play this game because Wizzerinus is already so far ahead. Yeah, and the Marlborough. So there goes ALittleBlank's entire board, and there goes ALittleBlank's entire hand. So even if ALittleBlank top deck a land, they still can't get back Deadwood Terror because they don't have a creature to sack. And now that ALittleBlank's entire board is clear, Kaelin gets to attack in for 4. Oh, and then they're going to end the turn by playing Barx. Actually, I feel like Kaelin returns Barx. Huh, that's quite interesting. So it seems like Wizzerinus has the board on lockdown, and I don't think ALittleBlank can really do anything now. Oh, they top deck Pithwilt. Probably one of the best cards they could have gotten right now, but doesn't really dig them out of the situation, and they're just going to concede. It seems like Wizzerinus is going to get into top 8.